Stadium, a fine venue for college soccer. We've got all the angles for you, and we have the action as we're underway here in High Point. The home side, the Panthers, playing in an all-white strip tonight. Meanwhile, the Peacocks start in their all-navy strip, going from left to right. A frantic early start as St. Peter's try and get on the front foot early here. High Point having to get some numbers back as St. Peter's have committed many men forward here as the cross comes in. It's headed away by McCrob. And then Linfelt able to deal with the danger and find Pineda, who's got swift feet. Holmes now just evaded the touch of Antwi. Ignacio's able to pick it up for High Point as they try and attack the other way. What a start we've had.
A great start for St. Peter's to come out swinging on offense, especially against a team like High Point, who is known to slow things down and kind of take control early on.
There's Biggerstaff, who's filling in a crucial role in the six for High Point tonight. He's having to cover for Jefferson Amaya, who's, strangely enough, his yellow card accumulation from last season has somehow impacted him this season.
And the cancellation of that Davidson game did not allow for that suspension to be in full effect, so it got pushed over into today's match, which is a very, very unfortunate loss for High Point. But with the depth that they have, it seems to appear not a loss at all.
There's McCrob finding Antwi. Now Ignacio able to keep it in just on the touchline. And surely that's a handball. Free kick to High Point in a good position. Handball coming there off of Ormerod. We'll have another look at that. Yeah, just hands away from the body. Just clips the back of his hand there. The Biggerstaff will take the free kick. It hits the wall, and then it's clattered away by Streel. Now Stewart, the goalkeeper, who, of course, was a crucial signing for High Point, having lost Holden Trent to the highest level of football in this country, now playing with the Philadelphia Union in Major League Soccer.
Holden Trent, a first-round pick in the MLS draft this past season, for High Point, was a historic kind of player, and for Justin Stewart to step into his shoes and not only be one of the best goalkeepers in the country, be the best goalkeeper in his class of 2023, so he's got big shoes to fill, but he has the skill set.
Ignacio with Holmes going wide this time and cutting it back towards Antwi. A heavy touch from Antwi there. And it's claimed there by Linfelt. Here's Pineda. Good cross in. Defender was able to get there first for St. Peter's. High Point now with sustained pressure. Linfelt. McCrob stepping up. Now Pineda, the man who scored the opener for High Point last season in their first home game. And he's had an interesting story, Mike.
Right, absolutely. The High Point to West Virginia and back to High Point. An interesting story for him, a dominant part of the West Virginia's Elite Eight run in 2021, but he felt that he had some unfinished business here at High Point.
And surely the Panthers faithful are glad to see him back, and he had a tough season last year with an injury following a couple of opening games where he scored some absolutely fantastic goals.
Yeah, only playing in 6 matches last year, but had a major impact, like you said, 4 points throughout those 6-game stretch. A very prominent part of this Panthers team, but struck with very many injuries last season.
And prior to our coverage, the video board here at Vert Stadium, quite a big one. It's hard to miss, but Tony Pineda's goal against Georgetown was shown on it, and that's just a sign of the quality that he possesses and why probably he's straight back into the starting lineup this year.
He's a very high-level experienced player, and for the coaching staff and for the rest of the players to have him not on the field would be almost unbeneficial.
Here's McRobb for Linfelt. And the man we were just speaking of now, Tony Pineda. He's taking up this left wing position early on. McRobb got so much space to work with as he brings the ball forward. And Pineda's going to come inside, and that's a lovely ball for Holmes! He just couldn't get the connection to find the target, and it rolls wide. That's disappointing from a Noah Holmes perspective, but a good move from High Point.
A great look from High Point. You see on the replay here, a phenomenal pass, but Noah Holmes unable to finish. She was the leading scorer last year for the Panthers, so a very good take in front of the goal, and I'm sure it's not his last today.
Yeah, it just looked like he couldn't wrap his foot around the ball the way he wanted to from that angle. It is a difficult finish for the goalkeeper right in front of you. Throw into High Point as St. Peter's are struggling to get out of their own half with just 7 minutes gone. One back by Linfelt and now Pineda. Now Ruckman from Carson Kendall. Antwi with a searching ball in the middle, looking for Holmes to hold it up. Ignacio now. There's a bit of space here for Pineda. Then Linfelt gets to the byline. Cross is headed away and then cleared away, but St. Peter's just can't get out. Biggerstaff wins it back. Now McRobb. Here's Jackson Ruckman. We were on a call with head coach Zach Haynes of the High Point Panthers, and what we're seeing right now is exactly what he spoke to us about.
A lot of high expectations. A lot of high expectations. A lot need to learn how to manage the game, and this is exactly what they're doing. Holding possession, driving it down the other team's throats right now.
Oh, Pineda's been upended there. A free kick right on the edge of the area. It's brought down there by Hare. Pineda's really good at that, and we'll have a look at it a second time. So good at beating his man. He's gone around him. And he's lucky that the foul didn't occur in the penalty area. Just outside.
Such quick movements from Tony there. Able to beat his defender. An amazing player.
And Davis Biggerstaff. Hickory, North Carolina native. Will swing this in. It took a deflection. Nearly wrong-footed the goalkeeper there, Pedro Alves. And it's a corner. Came off a Peacocks player last. Biggerstaff will deliver it again. We'll have another look at that. Looks like it hit the man in the wall.
Right in the back. And it was a great take by Biggerstaff, who has been a very large part coming off the bench throughout his first couple seasons for High Point.
He'll swing it in now towards McRobb. Pineda lashed at it. And Tony Pineda trying to do what he did last season and score in the home opener for High Point.
You'll see the replay here. Biggerstaff trying to find McRobb inside for the header. But Pineda with a solid attempt there, but unable to finish.
Antwi. Yeah, High Point have been able to fill some holes here in their squad, having lost some crucial players. And we have to talk about Seth Antwi and how he's replaced that difficult role that is to fill in Lala Sayerte's absence.
He spent his whole college career with Dayton before transferring to High Point. A very high skill set with or without the ball. He's a top midfielder coming from that A-10 conference, a very competitive conference. High motor player, very used to playing a lot of minutes. A great addition for this Panthers program.
Intercepted there by McRobb. And now flicked on for Pineda. It's Kruger. And then neither player on that far side able to get a touch on the ball. It's a goal kick for St. Peter's. And there's Pedro Alves, the Brazilian goalkeeper for the Peacocks, who had 3 put past him in their last matchup against Liberty University. He, of course, coming from Notre Dame, who, of course, were playing a college football game in Dublin, Ireland, most recently. So perhaps he had his screen turned on a couple of days ago, Pedro Alves. Brought down by Noah Holmes for Ignacio. Kendall's going to leave that for McRobb. He's able to find Cooper Lindfelt with the pressure from Fodstad, the man up top for the Peacocks tonight. Ignacio nearly brought it down, and then Holmes went in heavy there. No free kick for St. Peter's. Kendall challenging that with Fodstad. The Peacocks come away with it now. It's Striel. We'll have a go! Good save from Stewart to put that over the bar. It was a great effort, though, from Striel.
A phenomenal effort, a great attempt on that shot there. Very close, very accurate, but a great job by Justin Stewart. One of the best goalkeepers in that 2023 class. Check out the replay here. Phenomenal attempt, but an even better save.
And Stewart almost made it look easy. Just stood where he was and palmed it over.
Calm, cool, and collected.
He might have dropped there for a Peacocks players. Pineda's trying to come away with it. And he's putting on the afterburners. Still Tony Pineda. And then was he upended there? Yes, says the referee. No, says the ball was won. And a promising attack for High Point breaks down. Fodstad throwing it in quickly. McRobb was there. Striel now with the header. Here's Sorensen. Alves. Now Larson. Larson, of course, the man who scored those 2 goals in their defeat to Liberty, the 3-2 result. That didn't go their way. It's not often that you see a centre-half getting a brace.
Especially in his first game with his new team. Transferring in after his first 2 seasons, the University of Detroit, and then made the switch over to St. Peter's, and it seems that switch has only helped him.
Here he is now trying to send the ball in behind. Kendall's easily read that. Ruckman now. Pineda has had a lot of touches on the ball in the opening 15 minutes of the first half. McRobb will send it long. He's looking for Ignacio. Goal kick in the end. And Alves will send his men forward as he will look to send this long in behind for St. Peter's. Kendall with a powerful header.
That back line for High Point has been amazing.
Almost like water repellent.
Absolutely, and the addition of Carson Kendall and Finn McRobb still staying and playing together for so long.
Pineda with the shot.
Great shot attempt. He really, really wants to get on the slate for today's game.
Hey, you talk about McRobb and Kendall. That pair in the middle of the defence for High Point has been so strong over the past couple of years, winning a couple of titles.
Very helpful having both of those guys, two very strong defenders that use their size and speed better than a lot of players do in college lacrosse. Finn McRobb is a prolific player, a Big South first team in 2020, 2021, and 2022. So he is 3 years running in that category and could come up on his fourth here in his senior season.
Pineda doing well to shield the ball there. Decision goes High Point's way. When you look around this team, Mike, and it's not just the centre half, so the goalkeeper, the striker, everyone's a leader in this team.
Every single person on this team. Their team's identity, as Coach said, outwork, outscore, outplay. Be a very cohesive unit and step up to the plate when needed, and all of these guys have done so.
Pineda. He was clipped there. And now a free kick for High Point. In another good position to whip that ball into the box and try and find a man. A bigger staff coming across again. You just see here Pineda was clipped as he was trying to control that by Hare. Yeah, Charlie Hare, one of many English players in this Peacock side. He's committed a few fouls throughout this first half.
It seems that you're either not from the States on that Peacocks roster or you're from New York or New Jersey.
Bigger Staff's ball and is headed away. Kruger with a clever touch. They do well to keep that in. Striel will clear it away. Yeah, you'd have to think that Julian Richens has a lot to do with the international flair, particularly from Great Britain and his side, and how he's able to recruit players from that part of the world. And it's a massive talent pool to pull from, but also a very difficult one to find the top level quality of player.
As well as someone who's willing to make that drastic move from not being in the States and to the United States and assimilating themselves in the American education system.
And Holmes was ran into that. Perhaps momentum, but the ball was won according to the referee. And Fodstad's put it through here. It's a chance for the visitors to try and take the lead. Great challenge in the end, though. To deny the opportunity, it was Ruckman coming all the way across the back line to make the challenge there. And he's able to deny Ormerod. Or rather, it was Vaughan that was running in behind there for the Peacocks.
Great rundown from Ruckman, one of 8 players last year to play in 20 games over the course of last season. A facilitator more for High Point last season, had 2 assists, but an amazing defensive stop. Helped close a great offensive quick possession for St. Peter's.
McRobb. Ignacio was just stretching there to try and control. And then his arm was up and the referee's gone for his pocket. A yellow card for Kaya Ignacio. He's not convinced at all by that challenge. We'll maybe get another chance to have a second look at it. Kai Ignacio, the first player to go in the book now. Yeah, and we'll see here, Mike.
A bit of a collision with the head, and that's going to be a no-no for the far side official. Seeing that. Too much contact there. Ignacio gets on the card.
I would even argue, though, that when he's jumping up for the ball there, his arms are down by his side. Neither elbow's really gone in towards the player. So, strange decision for the referee to give a yellow card. Yes, a free kick, but a booking might be a bit harsh as there's a player down here for the Peacocks. And that's not a good look for Cuba back Sorensen, I should say, who's gone down there.
And it looked like almost that it was a natural movement for Ignacio. So for them to award the card, I agree, it's a little iffy. So you can see them conversing about the call.
That's exactly what they're discussing here. I don't think they're ever going to settle on that agreement.
I don't think that they agreed at all, and I think if I was in his shoes, I would feel the same way. Always frustrating when you feel that you see it a little bit differently than the official, as you are the one playing the game, but
and we're just taking a small break here as the injuries dealt with for the Peacocks. A little bit of time for hydration for both sets of players. A bit of a rethink for maybe High Point, trying to figure out how to break down this team and push their initiative a little bit more. They've been very patient, the Panthers, in how they played. They'll be encouraged by the opening 20 minutes of the first half. It looks like there is a change as well for St. Peter's. It might be Kuba back Sorensen who's gone off. And Conlan Paventi has come in. And it looks like Bo Jans has come in.
as well as Alex Abril, who last season had a very unfortunate injury that did not let him see the field.
Well, he's not actually even come on yet. He's still on the touchline there, so PA announcers pulled the greatest prank this afternoon.
He got me pretty good, let me tell you.
But yeah, Bo Jans is on, and you can see Alex Abril there, just right in the corner of your screen there,
waiting,
standing at the midfield line. And he'll be able to come on here momentarily, but Bo Jans, yeah, replacing Jackson Ruckman, and he slots in at that left-hand side.
Bo Jans, a sophomore, 178 in that class of 2022. Last 4 seasons, a dominant recruiting class for High Point.
It's headed up by Ignacio. Linfeld's trying to challenge for it. Free kick given to High Point.
Justin Stewart, one of those players, a part of Coach's amazing recruiting regimen.
Bit of a swap of positions too for High Point as Jans is coming, he's slotted in at left back, and then that means Cooper Linfeld, who didn't come off, is now taken up the right position in that back four. So he's able to, looks like, win it, either a throw-in or a free kick, and there will be a throw-in as there's Alex Abril coming in. And he replaces Kaya Ignacio. Another powerful header from Finn McRobb. The biggest half is lost out here. Jans tried to do some defending there. It bounced off of him as he went to make the challenge. Paventi's ball for Fodstad. What a fantastic cross. Out of play for a goal kick, but it was a devilish delivery.
A fantastic cross that was, if you could only see the reactions of my face from in here. But wow, a very, very good play on the offensive end of things for St. Peter's. Just unable to get it going.
It's a real shame no one was on the end of that cross. I almost tried to head it in here myself. But they're going to have to take those chances, Mike, and if they want to get any sort of result from this sort of place. Vert Stadium, the High Point Panthers, a formidable side in a formidable ground. They're going to have to take those chances and take a bit of a risk.
Lots of risk-taking against a great team like High Point.
As you see then, a fantastic opportunity for High Point with Noah Holmes' shot. On either side of the goalkeeper, you would have fancied that to trouble him.
It's going to be Noah's Holmes' first shot on goal today. He's had 2 shot attempts. And he's hungry, just like every other Panther player on this roster.
Antwi. Holmes nearly flicked it on there for Kruger.
Brendan Kruger, another player that you mentioned, an attacking midfielder that has the quality to play very well between the lines.
Here's a Brill, known for his dribbling ability. Drops for Holmes, and now Antwi will deliver the cross. And it's headed away by Larson for a corner. Substitution will be made before the corner can be taken. We'll have that change for you. It looks like Ramirez has come in for High Point, and he's gone straight away to take the corner. It's Anthony Ramirez now, who crosses in. Kruger tried to flick it on. Kruger trying to cross it in. Linfelt. And still with Cooper Linfelt now. And then Paventi does well to win the throw in there for his side.
Great to see Anthony Ramirez get out there. Has not had his chance to play in a High Point uniform, only a freshman, but what he has had the chance to do is he has a lot of opportunities to play with the pros. He's been doing it since he was 15, so to step into this collegiate game, he has the experience level to play well.
The searching ball is cut out there by Bo Jantz. And yeah, you look along the Panthers roster, there's plenty of players who've made it up to that MLS Next Pro level. Nancy Ramirez, Kaya Ignacio, Brendan Kruger, Darian Castillo. The list goes on.
It does. It goes on forever.
Here's a Brill. He'll get his cross in. And it's put behind again. And the clearance to put it out for a corner looked like it might have been an own goal. We'll have a second look to just see a Brill working the wing.
Aggressively working that wing. Competitive play from a Brill. Unable to play last season, so he's going to take every advantage of his final season in a Panther uniform.
Ramirez with a deeper delivery now. Holmes on the end of the cross. The cross might have actually crossed the line as it was coming back in towards Holmes for a goal kick to St. Peter's.
High Point has done an amazing job at really applying pressure for St. Peter's, struggling to get it out of their own defensive zone all day long.
It's Antwi for High Point. And now Pineda. It was a 1-2 he was trying to play there with Ramirez. He's upended for the free kick. A nice 1-2 with Ramirez, and that's going to frustrate High Point a little bit with the amount of fouls that St. Peter's have committed so far. They're trying to break up this beautiful play that High Point's able to put together and try and frustrate them. And surely Pineda's not going to take it from here, 40-odd yards out. There will be a cross. McRobb was the one he was looking for. And Pineda nearly lining it up. It was Ramirez actually instead. And then out of play.
It's a good touch from Ramirez. A very young player. He's going to need to show a lot to this coaching staff if he's going to want to continue to be out there.
And the foul given against High Point there. Free kick to St. Peter's now, with just over a quarter of an hour to go until the half-time break. No goals between St. Peter's and High Point. You're watching our live coverage here on ESPN+. I'm delighted to say my partner in crime, Mike Guerriere. I'm Jamie Patel, bringing you all the action from the core of North Carolina. We talk about MLS Next Pro. Like, High Point's actually going to be receiving a team of their own. Carolina Core FC will be joining up in that ranks of development for Major League Soccer, playing in downtown High Point, North Carolina. So even more reason for players to find this school attractive to join up in the ranks.
Yeah, High Point is really starting to become that kind of hotspot for a lot of these soccer players.
Oh, delightful ball from Ramirez. Holmes! Good block from Larson. It looked like Kruger tried to chest it down for Holmes, and Holmes didn't read the play there.
Miscommunication in front of the goal is going to eat you up, but again, High Point has given themselves ample opportunities tonight, and I don't think that those opportunities are going to end.
Yance now for Pineda. That has to be the best chance so far in this game for either side. McRobb. Now Kendall. It's a Brill going to the byline. Hangs the cross in. Paventi puts it out for another throw into High Point. They take it quickly. Ramirez. Ramirez again. Pineda. Oh, he just missed his touch there. Goal kick.
Pineda, golden opportunity there.
You can see the frustration on his face there.
He had the room.
Sean Cadigan has come in for St. Peter's meanwhile. As he replaces Fabian Schmid. Well, that's a good ball now for Mikkel Fodstad. And he's upended. Yellow card coming out as well. We'll have another look at that foul there. Whether it was the right call from the referee. Fodstad was getting in behind.
Here's the replay. Looked like he tripped himself up. It doesn't look like there was any contact there from Carson Kendall.
Yeah, it's one of those, right, where the player's in behind you, you give them a little touch, they're going to go down, and disappointing to see that as part of the game now, but that's the modern game of football. And the referee's very much inclined to give the free kick and the booking because it's a little bit of a cynical challenge, but no complaints from Carson Kendall. Oh, and that surely is a foul there. Similar sort of thing, and a yellow card comes out for it as well. Deja vu.
Absolutely deja vu, and to go back to that other yellow card, to see that replayed, again, I did not really see any contact on there, and for Kendall to not have anything to say after the fact, kudos to him as a player.
You see Vaughan there with a handful of the shirt of the High Point player there.
Desperation grab.
Antwi now dropping in between the two central defenders in McRobb and Kendall. It's Ramirez. Now Pineda able to get it into Jans. His cross is blocked away for a throw-in. Another change coming for High Point, with Tony Pineda coming off. And it looks like Castillo is the man who's come on. Weren't able to get a close enough shot of him that time. With another freshman coming in for High Point to try and provide some fresh legs.
And Castillo is another freshman in this recruiting class that has a high level of experience. He's one of the top goal scorers in the country at Barca Academy with 16 goals in 20 games, so an offensive threat coming from the forward position for High Point.
Holmes now. Jans. This is Ramirez. Oh, lovely ball! Is it 1-0? No! Kruger hits it straight into Alves, who did well to come off his line and close the angle down.
Amazing save from Pedro Alves. But Ramirez, what an amazing look to Kruger.
A shot coming in that time again from Alex Abril. It goes behind for another High Point corner. But the ball in behind, we saw on the replay, just deceived the entire defence there, Ramirez.
Caught everybody off guard.
With the kick, number 10, Anthony Ramirez.
And Kruger did well to stay on side as well as he made the run in. Ramirez will deliver the corner. Drops for Bo Jans. He's just trying to clip it in behind. Antwi for Abril. Antwi. Linfelt for Kruger. Abril with another great cross in. This time it's collected by Alves. Kruger winning it back, but then immediately giving it away. And St. Peter's come the other way. It's Paventi with his shot! What a strike! Unbelievable goal! The Peacocks, against all the odds, have the lead.
Wow, Paventi with an amazing offensive goal there. A senior hailing from New Jersey, appeared in 10 games last year, earned the start in 8 matches. 2 goals last season, already close enough to that feat there, and you see the amazing celebration running past the High Point stands. An unlikely goal from St. Peter's, and the Peacocks have the lead.
Sometimes you just have to sit back and applaud. Simple as that from Conlan Paventi. It's been all High Point, but one chance for the visitors. And Paventi takes it with aplomb.
Sprinting hard down that right wing, and amazing shot. And score.
And he's going to come off as well. As the substitutions come in again for St. Peter's.
He deserves that rest. That was an amazing, amazing take.
And he's replaced by Omre Etienne. Also coming off for the Peacocks, Tim Streel.
Off the pitch for the Peacocks, number 7, Tim Streel. Entering for the Peacocks, Omre Estienne.
And that goal was a big momentum shifter. You can almost feel it for the Peacocks. After a game that's really been all HBU. Seen a lot of possession for High Point on the offensive end of things, and an unlikely try that ended in a score.
And you see now that Matt Brocker has come in for Noah Holmes for the High Point Panthers, as they look to change things up in attack. Brill trying to head it back into the box. Headed away by Larson. Throw into High Point. We'll see how they respond to what is a shock opener to this game for the Peacocks. Admittedly, they weren't the favourites by any means to score first, let alone score like that. The Panthers have created so many chances and dominated throughout the first half, so surely it's only a matter of time before they're able to respond. It's cleared away again by St. Peter's. Stewart.
Under 8 left to go, and the substitution of Brucker, and coach calls him one of the best finishers that they have recruited. Had a season-ending injury, but took his medical red shirt last season, and then came on to things for High Point this year, and it's been nothing but beneficial.
We'll see if he's got the finishing touch now as he's involved in the action. Kruger will have a strike. It's well wide of the target this time. Did set up nicely there for him, Brendan Kruger.
Brendan Kruger was a Big South all-freshman team alongside Jefferson Amaya last season. Two of their biggest recruits who saw the most amount of playing time coming out of that 2022 class.
It's going to roll out to play for a throw into High Point. 1-0 to St. Peter's with 6 minutes and change until half-time. McRobb for Antwi. And Kruger. Kendall able to find McRobb. One back by Antwi. And then absolutely thumped clear there by Larson.
Seth Antwi has been all over the pitch today. A name that we have said very often, and someone that coach is very happy to have playing here.
And he takes up all sorts of positions for this High Point Panthers side.
A lot of valuable experience he brings to the pitch.
McRobb wearing the captain's armband for High Point. Rolls it into Ramirez. Now Abril able to come inside here. Tried to loft it in behind for Castillo. Ramirez shaping to shoot. Instead tries to find Linfelt. Drops for Ramirez again. And Linfelt tried to return it, but they weren't on the same wavelength there. Less than 4 minutes now here at Vert Stadium. First half, that's been all high point, but when the chance came for St. Peter's, Paventi took the chance. And there was nothing really that Stewart could do about that effort. On the cross might come here for Brucker. Pounced onto by Alves.
Looks like Brucker almost stopped there before that crosser arrived.
Might have taken a deflection on its way through to him. Wrong-footed Brucker to try and get on the end of it. Linfelt walking away with it now. Antwi. That's a good turn from Ramirez to change direction. He'll find Jantz. Castillo, can he beat his man here? He's kept it to the byline and cut it back nearly on a plate for Brucker. Ramirez. Cross is deflected. And then the header eventually collected by Alves, and he might have been kicked by his own teammate there. Fodstad was trying to clear it.
Well, these opportunities, the scoring opportunities for High Point have become endless. It's just a matter of finishing on that golden opportunity, and they've had a few of those today. An opportunity for Noah Holmes to finish in front of the goal, and almost an opportunity for Castillo. But yikes, a big kick to the face from his opposing team. Seems like he'll be all right, though. Maybe that's what he needed. Sometimes everybody needs a little kick to the face to get him going.
A bit of water for the hydration part, and then gloves are back on. Play will continue now. Because it was an injury, no free kick, and Alves will just carry on. Collected well there by Linfelt, and Abril dropping back. It's McRobb now for Jantz. He's able to find Castillo. A nice reverse ball. Ramirez, and he just took a heavy touch. So he tried to get to the byline again. Those two are connecting really well, though, for High Point, Ramirez and Castillo.
Two young guys who I'm sure are able to speak to themselves with the youth that they have and the level of experience that they play at, and are really feeding off each other's energy right now. And it's a high-octane level of play from both guys.
Ramirez. Now Linfelt with a bit of space. Kendall.
1 minute in the half.
And now St. Peter's will try and come on the break here. And then the ball's been kicked away by the St. Peter's player. So throw into High Point, but the clock's been stopped. And now the clock will continue. Of course, we don't have injury or added time in college soccer. They have the running clock, so the referee doing well to stop it while the ball was being retrieved in favour of the Panthers. With Abril now trying to cross it. And it's blocked away, deflected for a corner. And with 25 seconds to go in the first half, High Point maybe have one last hurrah to try and find the equaliser.
Panthers moving to take the kick, Anthony Ramirez. 10, 9,
Ramirez swings it in. McRobb trying to battle. Abril, he'll have a strike. It's blocked away. And Pedro Alves will jump onto it. And going into... And Pedro Alves getting set. And he'll hope that he can maintain a clean sheet. And we're getting started now. The final 45 between these two sides. It's High Point and St. Peter's here from Vert Stadium. You're watching live on ESPN Plus. Jamie Purcell alongside Mike Guerriere. We've really been enjoying tonight's matchup between these two sides who are in different sort of positions and different perspectives going into their respective seasons. High Point, a very dominant ball possessive side who like to create many chances and try and build their way through. St. Peter's very much a snatch and grab sort of team, specifically here tonight against a side like High Point who are so dominant on the ball. McRobb was looking for Noah Holmes there, who's come back on. He'll be the man up top for the Panthers. He had a couple of chances in the first half that he wasn't able to put away. McRobb sending it long again. Was knocked away there by Hare. McRobb doing well to intercept. Now Ramirez. That's a great ball for Abril. What a touch. Abril cutting it back. Kruger! Straight at Pedro Alves. If he had just got a bit more accuracy on the strike, Brendan Kruger would have been levelling things up here.
Here's the replay. An amazing touch from Alex Abril. Kruger had an opportunity off the pass from Abril, but Alves been a brick wall in goal today.
And here's the goal scorer, Paventi, trying to get in behind again for the Peacocks. Jans. And High Point coming forward again with Ramirez. Jans looking for a forward option, has to go back to McRobb. Oh, Antwi. Linfelt. And Pineda upended by the defender there. And it's a yellow card as well for Kuba back Sorensen. And a good free kick opportunity here for High Point.
A lot of faith being put in Ramirez right now as a freshman. He's been in command for a very long time.
Yellow card for the Peacocks.
Ramirez with a great ball in! And coming round the back was Carson Kendall. He couldn't get a touch on it, and it's a goal kick.
Great job by Ramirez to lay it in there for Kendall. Kendall almost had it, but just not enough.
Away by Lindfelt. Kruger challenging. Throw in now for High Point. Kendall calmly back to his goalkeeper, Stewart now. McRobb trying to switch it for Alex Abril. It's headed away there by Blackmore. Brought down well there by Antwi. Kruger now, dropping deep. Kendall. This is Fabian Schmid. Now Ormrod. And Larson. Great play there from Larson. And then Sorensen loses out to Pineda.
Great job from Pineda there, being really aggressive on that touch. Found some open space.
Jans now. Ramirez tried to get it back for Pineda. McRob's going to come all the way out to the wing here. And he'll continue on. And then the cross comes in towards Abril, but the flag is raised. It looked as though the High Point man who was in an offside position didn't get involved, but the referee didn't see it that way. Two heads colliding there. McRobb, one of them. Completely accidental, of course, but you have to be cautious with moments like that.
A scary collision. It's a part of the body that could be very easily injured, and the littlest contact could sometimes mean the worst injury, so you only hope that he gets up on his own power like he does right there.
It looks like Striel was the man who collided with him. And they both look to be okay.
Thank God.
No serious harm done. And High Point should get the ball back here.
See the replay of the collision. Aye. Head to head there. A bad collision. And it looks like they're all right.
And it's not becoming incredibly clear as to who's going to get the ball back. Two players involved, just waiting to come back in. It looks like High Point will be able to continue on. And the two injury-stricken players are no more. They're back in. Finn McRobb and Striel. Brought down here by Jans for McRobb. It's Tony Pineda for Ramirez. Antwi now for Ramirez again. And Lindfeldt. He'll get his cross in. Holmes tried to head it back. Picked up by Antwi. Good interception. High Point have the ball again. Ramirez. Brought down by Pineda. Jans. Abril. Clipped in by Lindfeldt. Again, St. Peter's doing enough with absorbing the pressure and just sitting back at the moment. Not allowing a loss of space in the final third for High Point to work with. Now Jans sending it over the top. And Pineda's not going to get there. Goal kick for St. Peter's. Schmid. And Ramirez with a great challenge to win the throw-in.
How impressive Ramirez has been today. In technically what would be his first official match after that unfortunate Davidson cancellation. And I'm sure that's still got to be in the back of the players' minds. Unable to play a full game and heading into today's game without having that, especially at home, it's a little nerve-wracking.
He's shown so much promise so far, Anthony Ramirez. As he tries to win it back here for his side. McRobb will do so for the Panthers. And find Pineda. And McRobb nearly latched onto the return ball. Jans is doing the defending.
Great pressure from St. Peter's. Really fired out of a cannon here in the second half.
Lindfeldt. Abril came back to receive the ball, and now he cuts inside. He'll swing it over for Pineda. His cross in. Too heavy for High Point.
Great job from Alex Abril there. Getting his fair share of starter minutes tonight. Was subbed in late in the first half and haven't seen him come off the pitch since.
Lindfeldt with the header, but he bumped into his man there, Vaughan. Now a free kick. Alves for Larson. High Point putting the press on now. And one whack well here. Pineda. Or rather, it was Ramirez doing the grafting work there. Jans. Abril. Back for Lindfeldt. Now McRobb. And Pineda. Antwi. High Point committing everyone forward here. Abril's cross, collected by Alves.
It's the right idea there to look for Noah Holmes on the inside. Feasting in front of the goal there. Noah Holmes, that's his home. He lives there. Great job from Abril. An even better job from Alves. Great concentration.
Headed away there by Kendall. Jans missed his kick there, brings it down eventually. He's able to turn. Couldn't find the run of Noah Holmes that time. So McRobb will calmly head it back for his goalkeeper there. Here's Carson Kendall for Antwi. High Point think the ball went out there. Play goes on. And now a chance for St. Peter's, but cut out in the end there by McRobb. Vaughan was the man trying to jink his way through. As Kruger was clipped there, and Abril comes away with it for High Point. Still Alex Abril. Excellent play. Finding Jans. Ramirez. Jans has stayed on, but the ball just runs away from him. Referee stopping the clock again, as there will be a change here for St. Peter's. And Sorensen is the man coming off. Looks like Fodstad is back in for the visitors.
Coming off the field for the Peacocks, number 24, Cuba Matt Sorensen. Now on the pitch, number 10, Mikkel Fodstad.
Striel knocking it back for Schmidt. Here's Striel again, being challenged by Linfelt. Intercepted by Jans, brought down by Pineda. Ramirez. Kruger thought about the shot, tried to clip it in behind in the end for Noah Holmes. Kruger goes on. Alex Abril. McRobb again. Pineda. Here's Fodstad. And then Antwi got involved. And then Ramirez. Good ball from Linfelt. Alex Abril. He has the shot. Blocked away. High Point really squeezing here. Trying to find any small opening they can. Antwi. It's McRobb. A little bit of space there for Kruger. Now Ramirez. And Jans. Ramirez being pressed here by Fodstad. And he's won it off of McRobb. And then Ramirez tracking back excellently. Single-handedly stopping the counter-attack, having lost the ball.
Ramirez flying around today. It's been a massive part of what has kept High Point in today's match.
Here he is again, Ramirez now, Antwi. Kendall. Finding Brendan Kruger. Linfelt will retain possession for High Point. 15 minutes into the first half, it's been all Panthers again. Ramirez swinging it in and headed behind for a corner to High Point.
Good opportunity for High Point here with Ramirez in the corner. A lot of good options for him. He's got Kruger, Brill, and looks like Noah Holmes.
Fabian Schmid's come off for St. Peter's. Replacing him is Sean Cadogan. As Strill heads away the cross from the corner. A Brill. Now trying to leave it there for Pineda, but ended up getting in the way of each other. It's Antwi. He's shoved over. Free kick in a good position for High Point. And Cadogan's first involvement since coming on as a substitute is to give away a free kick in a good position for the opposition.
Big mistake from St. Peter's there. Not something you want to give up while you have the lead, especially when the momentum has really been on your side from the first to second half. And they've continued within these first 15 minutes of the second half. It's been all St. Peter's. But for right now, High Point could take the reins here.
And it looks like Ramirez will stand over the free kick. Of course, no Jefferson Amaya, who usually would try and shoot from this sort of range, if not try and deliver a fantastic ball into the box. But Ramirez is looking like he's aiming to shoot. He might actually go for the cross here. Hard to tell from this angle. Ramirez does go for goal. He tried to go around the wall. He had the power, but the accuracy was lacking in that effort.
The power's there, though. The accuracy will come later. So for Ramirez to produce that kind of power, especially with the experience that he has had as a professional, overall, amazing attempt.
It's headed down there by Linfelt. Now we're throwing to St. Peter's. Fodstad. And Kendall getting involved to win it back for High Point. Pineda. Kruger. Good challenge there from Larson. Look at Noah Holmes coming all the way back to help defend. Antwi got a touch, and then Kendall had to clear it away from Fodstad. And Kendall looks like he's worse for wear after that last-ditch challenge. And that's not a good sign for the High Point Panthers. Not sure if it's cramp or if he pulled a muscle there. He looks to be in some discomfort. As the High Point bench looks on. Yeah, it might be a bit of cramp, yeah.
A bit of a cramp up, yeah. Gotta drink water. Stay hydrated on nights like these. It's hot.
You can see in the challenge he's really stretching for that ball.
An overextension, it's very well possible, even for some of these athletes who train and on all levels of every day and are constantly in the weight room. Looks like cramped up a bit there.
That's a corner either way for St. Peter's. High Point have to defend. As it comes in, punched away by Stewart. And Striel tried to knock it back across, but Jans is there. Throw into the away side. There, no rush to take it. Fodstad doing well to keep it in play there, but flag is raised for a free kick against High Point. Didn't look like there was much contact. Maybe another throw-in for the visitors now. Good defending from Jans. And Alex April trying to clear it forward, but he puts it under play again. Now, Mike, if you're coach Zach Haynes, do you go to the bench now? Do you wait for the clock to wind down a bit and see if the players you have on the pitch can make something happen?
I think with the players they have out on the pitch right now, they have so much depth within this roster that for them to make the changes right now could honestly be unbeneficial for the players out on the pitch there. So I think to keep things the way they are, because in a sense it is working, they are still able to get very valuable offensive chances. They just got to execute.
Yeah, disrupting the rhythm wouldn't be a very good idea.
Not at all.
You look at this set of players who are on the pitch now. A lot of experience, a lot of leadership. Not a lot of fresh faces as far as High Point are concerned with the players that are on right now. But they have a lot of players on the bench that they could call to try and find a way through. Maybe provide something unexpected that the opposition in St. Peter's weren't expecting. Don't have a lot of insight on.
And I'm interested to see what the coaching decision with Noah Holmes is to do, whether to leave him out there or to put Matt Brucker back in. Like I had mentioned, Coach Haynes talks about how well and how great of a finisher Brucker is, and to have that kind of skill set on the field when you're down a goal could honestly be beneficial, but to take Noah Holmes off the pitch is a tough decision to make as well.
Pineda upended there, and meanwhile a substitution was made there for High Point. And it was actually Ramirez who went down, but Kai Ignacio is back on, and he replaces Brendan Kruger. Ignacio didn't play too long in the first half, so we'll see if he might have something here for High Point as they have another corner. Just under 25 minutes to go. High Point still looking to level things up here at Vert Stadium. Ramirez with the corner. And it was knocked down there by Pineda. Put out of play by Larson for a throw into High Point. And it's probably going to be a long throw in here from Alex April. April throwing it long. Will it drop here? No, it won't. Streel was able to knock it away for St. Peter's. Jans. Now Antwi. Ignacio. It's Lindfeldt. Pineda did well to keep that in play, or rather Ramirez finding Pineda for another corner to High Point. What a difficult ball that was for Ramirez to control with his head.
How impressive he has been today. Keep saying that. He really has impressed, I hope, everyone.
Number 10, Anthony Ramirez.
And here he is now taking the corner. McCrob was in there again, off the line. Drops for a Brill! Fantastic equaliser. The Panthers roar again. And Alex April, on his return, has done it for High Point.
What an amazing feeling that must be for Alex Abril after last season, an unfortunate injury that closed things off for him in his graduate season. What an amazing goal from Alex Abril to finish up on that second chance opportunity. Get a quick look at those career
What a goal
stats.
from him. 15 for Alex Abril.
Amazing. 15 goals in his career, 44 shots on goals as he sat out. Graduate student sitting out in that 2022 season. I'm sure he was anxious to get back out on the pitch tonight. And he does so in an amazing fashion. Beautiful goal.
And at a crucial time as well for High Point. Back to square one between these two sides. It's 1-1 between St. Peter's and High Point. And they were knocking on the door for so long, the home side. And they get their just reward. Now can they push on? Try and find more from this game. Alex Abril finding Ramirez. Back with Bo Jans. And they're certainly not done here, High Point. Bit of a heavy touch there from Ignacio. But Carson Kendall doing the cleaning up for High Point. Pineda. Running on his man Blackmore here. Return to him from Holmes. He's held up by two now. Finding Ignacio. Antwi. Found Ruckman. Good turn from Alex Abril. Anthony Ramirez. He was trying to line up the strike there. He's drawn two defenders with him. Ruckman on the overlap. And his cross runs out of play.
We're looking at a much different High Point team right now. They loosened up quite a bit. And I think that goal was what they needed to really get those jitters away and really come back into that competitive aspect that we all know and love.
You can see the change in confidence immediately.
It's almost the switch is flipped.
As the old adage goes, goals change games. And they can happen in a matter of moments, and they look like High Point were just going to continue to be frustrated as they work their patterns of play, but sometimes you need something a bit different to find your way back into the game, and Alex Abril with the long-range effort following a set piece was what's done the trick for High Point.
And in our interview with Coach Haynes, he had talked about how the team looks to find new solutions, and I'm sure that was one of the talking points coming out of the second half.
Well, Abril's chance. He's going to maybe find the second. And Alves off his line. Abril was waiting to pounce, but just put a bit too much on it there. His eyes lit up.
What a rocket coming out of his right foot there. He really wants that second goal. Not in the starting lineup today, but came into that first half and proved that he belonged on the field.
Ramirez was certainly fouled there. Right, Harvey Ormrod. Play continues quickly for High Point. McRobb finding Abril. He gets round his man here, Alex Abril. He's found the next gear, the next level.
St. Peter's cannot match this pace right now. The level that they're playing at, the motor that they have, they refilled that tank at half.
Pineda. Now Ramirez. His cross was behind a few of the players who made it into the box there. Kendall calmly heading it back for Ramirez. That's a lovely touch. Ruckman. Ramirez. Antwi doing the intercepting again. McRobb for Ramirez. Just behind Jans, who tracks back to retrieve. Antwi. Good bit of skill to chop inside. Ramirez. Antwi. Wide for Pineda. Oh, Pineda couldn't thread it through. Falls here for Ruckman. Pineda's come inside. Ignacio trying to feed it into him. Fodstad able to get away, but then loses out. Ignacio doing the tracking back. Their relentless high point in their pursuit to find the lead. Ramirez, just a heavy touch that time. McRobb now. And McRobb again with a long ball. But this time, it's going to be collected by Alves, who's in no rush to pick it up. Just trying to wind the clock down there.
I think if you're High Point right now, you're doing everything in your power to make sure that this game does not end in a draw.
Yeah, certainly. They've come close enough now to getting back to level terms. I'm going to want to try and find that win that they set out for from the beginning. Collected easily there by Stewart. Alex Abril cutting inside again. It's Pineda looking for options. Has to drop back to Bo Jans. Then in turn finds Anthony Ramirez. And he's lofted that high and wide. Goal kick coming up. And now our Hercules strong move of the game, sponsored by Hercules Tyres, and we're going to have a look again at what a goal it was from Alex Abril.
An amazing goal that was, Jamie. Abril laying the lumber on that ball and showing it no remorse, putting it in the back of the net. Look at the celebration and the excitement from Abril. You know that goal helped the team out in many ways, and a great player he is.
He's gotten them back into this game, and maybe he might even be able to do a bit of more damage for High Point. But Ignacio not able to connect with Pineda that time. Noah Holmes is replaced now, and Brendan Kruger is the man who's come on. Linfeld went in there a bit strongly on his man. Brendan Kruger is in.
Another one of those younger players that the coaching staff is very high on. Often see him out there with Jefferson Amaya.
Let's have another look at the challenge here.
Yeah, it's a hard hit. A lot of contact there.
Alves being pressed by Ignacio. He had to get it away. Etienne couldn't get a head on it. Kendall does, and then Antwi with a clever flick into the path of Ramirez, who can accelerate away. It's in behind here, Alex Abril, who cut it back for Pineda! Oh, he's put it wide! The goal was gaping, and Tony Pineda, who you can certainly rely upon in many opportunities, hasn't been able to make the contact.
Just a great play there from Abril. Had the open space, saw the open man. Just got to finish on these opportunities. Too many opportunities that were wide open were missed.
And you expect more from the Panthers. They're so clinical in front of goal. And it's so unlike Tony Pineda to not find the back of the net, or at least hit the target that time. It is a difficult chance to take, of course, with the ball just bouncing right in front of you before you hit it. But even still, he made the contact. Perhaps the planting foot wasn't directed towards the target, and hence why it went wide. But they're coming forward again here, High Point. It's Jans on his cross, collected by Alves.
High Point has done a very good job at that today, undercutting and then getting numbers in after the play. Seemed to look to that a lot towards the end of the second half.
Linfeld's header. Pineda. Ignacio was going in. Away by Blackmore. Linfeld battling with Paventi. And then the players continuing on here. Advantage played by the referee. Kruger. Wide for Abril. Still Alex Abril winning the corner. Positive play from the Panthers. They're really pushing forward here. And the Peacocks are looking a bit stretched.
There's still a lot of time left for High Point to build a lead. So Ramirez in this corner once again.
He takes it short with Pineda. Ramirez will clip it in. Bo Jans now. He was clattered into by Etienne.
A lot of collision.
The ball comes in towards McCrobb! No flag! And High Point inches away again from finding the lead.
3 Panthers and Alves is all it was in front of the goal. McRobb. Again, here's another opportunity for High Point. An open chance. Just not taken.
He tried to take it first time there, making it even more difficult. Had he been able to maybe bring that down with his chest, he's one-on-one with the keeper from 3 yards out. The Panthers' search for the breakthrough in the scoreline continues. And we're into the final 10 minutes. But it's looking promising.
What a job from Antwi in the middle of the field today. Coming from the University of Dayton, played super well in that A-10 conference. One of the top midfielders before coming to High Point. And he has yet to take that foot off the gas. Playing up to his starter potential. It's a lot of amazing touches today to keep the pace of the game flowing.
And Conlan Paventi has been replaced here by Jeremy Gonzalez. And look at that. 25 shots for the home side. St. Peter's still have only been able to muster 2.
Looking at that. 25-2.
We're only 9 minutes left in the game to go, and there's been no shots for the opposition in the second half. As Abril nearly got in behind Larsen, but a great challenge from the Norwegian to deny him the opportunity to do so. Kendall going down again with cramp. The trainer's going to have to come on for this one. But the clock stopped at 8 minutes and 32 seconds. Still plenty of time as Coach Zach Haynes and associate head coach Josh Gillen will try and figure this one out. Noah Holmes looks like he's coming back in, but shots on goal for High Point. 25 of those shots, only 8 of them on target, but that's a good return as far as the Panthers are concerned. And St. Peter's, both of their shots being on target, of course, one of them resulting in a goal.
Still 5 more chances than High Point, and we still have a tie ball game here, so we saw High Point tighten things up after the Abril goal. Just these opportunities that are right at their grasp, not been able to take.
Carson Kendall looks like he's going to be okay to continue, but he's going to come off for the time being to wait to be called back in, or maybe he will head to the bench. It looks like he will. Noah Holmes is going to come on as High Point try and commit everyone forward. Means that High Point are going to be one man down at the back, perhaps. Oh no, they've actually made a change.
Also, number 5, Carson Kendall. Now in the lineup for the Panthers, number 24, Noah Holmes, and number 28, Tanner Rothenberger.
Yeah, it's actually Tanner Rothenberger who will fill in for Carson Kendall.
Yeah, a midfielder, defender who is more seen to High Point as a rotational player, but is able to come into these games and provide that veteran experience.
Yeah, Noah Holmes will come in as well now. Once there's a break in play, I believe Kaya Ignacio will be the player to come off for the Panthers here. Jans putting it out of play. It's a long throw in. McRobb has managed to keep in play, but High Point need to get rid of it. McRobb does so with Ignacio able to bring the ball down. And then Pineda, Ramirez didn't make the foul, and then free kick. Oh, and the ball there thrown back by Ormrod. It's not taken too kindly here by Antwi. Referee just having to hold some of these players back. That was clearly not very necessary
At all.
from Ormrod. And he's going to be... Oh, it looks as though he's been sent off here. What a shocking decision that is from Harvey Ormrod to throw the ball. And the referee reached for his pocket, and now Ormrod sees red. St. Peter's are down to 10.
Not a good move from St. Peter's. High Point is going to look to really take advantage of this possession here. Definitely not happy about that red card, but not the reaction that you're going to have later in a game, especially against a competitive opponent like High Point.
Well, that plays into the hands of the Panthers here now with they're a man up. 7 minutes to go. They have the momentum as well. Can they make that advantage profitable in this case? Kruger dropping it for Antwi. Now McRobb and Ramirez clipped there by Etienne. Good bit of skill there from Ramirez as he's able to find Jans, and now Kruger. And the ball's clipped in deep, collected by Alves. Rothenberger. Now Kruger. What a lovely touch from Antwi. Kruger dropping deep. Plays it into Ignacio. Abril will go to the byline and try to cut it back. Now a little bit of a disagreement there on the far side there between Blackmore and Abril.
See, that's the right kind of trash talk. Get in his face for a little bit, then back off right there. Say what you need to say, and that's it.
Yeah, there's a bit of gamesmanship in this one, a bit of heat in this one. It's been a feisty affair, but both sides have had really interesting patterns of play, but High Point clearly has more quality in abundance. This time Pineda unable to keep hold of the ball. And the throw-in now going the way of St. Peter's as we enter the final 5 minutes. And St. Peter's want to make a change as well. And they'll be allowed to do so here. As it's Lex Vaughan coming in, or rather coming off. And they've brought on Conlan Paventi. One back by Kruger. High Point trying to get players forward. It comes off of Abril. Blackmore at his back. And then a free kick given against Blackmore. Abril takes it quickly now. Antwi. High Point trying to be measured, but also trying to be quick. And there's the shot! Saved by Alves. Ramirez with the what was the player who took the strike. But it was right down the throat of Alves that time.
Ramirez with a great shot there. Alves has been standing strong, standing tall in net.
Holmes trying to get in there. Kruger brings it down. High Point will continue to push on. It's Anthony Ramirez. Was he clipped? No, says the referee, but Kruger now. Just trying to loft it in for Abril. And then that's a clear foul. Free kick for High Point as Pineda was knocked over by the over-exuberance of Sean Cadigan.
A clear foul there. Lots of collision. This could be a great opportunity for Ramirez. It's within the distance.
It looks like it might actually be Pineda who fancies it this time. And oh no, rather it is Ramirez. Good spot there, Mike. McRobb also stands over it. McRobb, of course, is the surprise option to try and go for goal. Will they try maybe something off the training ground? Some sort of routine, but the clear option here for High Point is to go for goal from this distance. Just over 13 yards out. And it is direct, and what a save! Alves with the strongest of arms. Unbelievable. The strike was so powerful from Ramirez. They might have actually injured Alves here. But what a save.
What an incredible save. Ramirez throwing in the heat into the net. Alves got hit hard in that right hand. But ultimately, that right hand made an incredible save. Maybe in pain now, but That pain doesn't matter. It's still 1-1. We have a tie game here. Just cannot believe the power on that kick from Ramirez.
For a freshman as well. It's Amaya-esque. And he's been called in to try and fill in for some of those qualities that Jefferson Amaya brings to this side.
You can only imagine what the pitch is going to look like when both of their faces cross the pitch. Just a tough loss with Amaya having that yellow card suspension.
What a strike, though, from Ramirez.
Insane.
Poured everything behind it. And Alves, elastic with the save.
Seeing that in person was crazy.
The ability to react to a shot like that is truly incredible. He's not made too many great saves throughout this game, but that one in particular is one for the highlight reel. And a corner now for High Point. And the header is over the bar. Alex Abril nearly netting a brace and getting the winner.
Abril had the opportunity there. See the reaction on his face. He knows he wanted it. Almost notched that top right corner. But an amazing showcase from Abril in his return in a Panthers uniform.
Meanwhile, Kaya Ignacio has been brought on alongside Noah Holmes. Throw into High Point. The clock continuing to wind down. Panthers trying to push on. And then 10 men of the Peacocks trying to hold on. But that's not going to do from Tony Pineda.
Coming off the field for the Peacocks, number 7, Tim Strel.
And Tim Strel is now coming off for St. Peter's.
Number 19, Lex Vaughn.
And Lex Vaughan is back in for the away side. McRobb. Antwi. Now it's with Linfelt. And he ends up hitting Abril. Blackmore in no rush to take the throw in now as we approach the final minute of play.
1 minute remaining.
It's Finn McRobb. It's the final minute of regulation. It's High Point 1, St. Peter's 1. Unless someone can be a hero here. And they're going to take the long throw in. It's going to be Alex Abril to try and cause some chaos in the box. But he's got to take it quickly as the clock continues to wind down. Drama at the end here. As McRobb flicks it on. Antwi! So nearly. He put so much behind it. And it almost stayed under the bar.
Just another impeccable chance at the net. Just not enough for High Point today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.